my co-host, JP's New Orleans Saints, go to the Panthers and pull off a big win for a pride and I don't really know the word. I told you so moment for JP, as Panthers fans were all over him for his preseason Panthers takes. But they go win 17-7 as the Panthers offense really struggles against not a good defense. And they largely struggle because the passing attack is disastrous for the Panthers. Because, one, Bryce Young is not a good quarterback, and two, the receiver room is not very good either. But y'all's thoughts on this game?
There were 250 comments on our Panthers TikTok of my take of the Panthers season. There were 87 comments and 280 likes on a Panthers fan page quote tweet of that TikTok. That's roughly 616 engagements, 99% of them hating on the take. Those takes being split among three different things. One being, LOL, he's a Saints fan. Two being, you're a dumbass. And three being, oh, we actually do have really good roster and elite players. Since then, I have responded to a ton of the people who have, made these claims. There have just been 20 responses back. I probably sent out about 100 responses myself. This is a direct representation of your fan base. When it's going good, oh, we're elite, we're a great team. But when we lose 31 to the Bills and to Tyler flipping Shuck, crickets. And I wish we had a cricket sound effect to play on the soundboard because I'd love to play it right now. I told you so. They're not that good. We all believe that. Not I told you so to you guys, but I told you so to the
Correct.
camera.
Yeah.
And the Panthers fans and the Panthers fan base. Bryce Young again doesn't have a game over 200 passing yards. Tyler Shuck has started 2 games this year, has as many games with 200 passing yards as Bryce Young.
Congrats to
He
Tyler
averages
Shuck.
more than 200 passing yards per game as well. Bryce Young well below 200 passing yards. It was really a sight to behold. The Saints give up the opening drive touchdown. Panthers have all the momentum. 12 plays, 68 yards. Bryce, he threw a pick on the first drive. I know you didn't watch the game. He threw a pick on the first drive. After he had thrown the ball, the Saints roughed the passer, and so the pick gets voided. And then Rico Dowdle scores a touchdown. That's the only points they scored the whole game. Is the opening drive touchdown. In the first half, it's punts. After that, they have 4 straight after the touchdown. In the second half, it's turnovers. A fumble, a turnover on downs, and a Bryce Young, what are you doing pick, where he just throws it to Alontae Taylor, thinking there's no one guarding Ted McMillan, I guess.
He probably couldn't see.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Is he couldn't see over his right tackle, and so he couldn't see Alontae Taylor sitting there. Carolina also in the second half was bailed out on after a blocked field goal. The Saints block a field goal in this game. The ball flies after the block past the line of scrimmage. It touches a Saint. The Panthers recover it, and apparently by rule, it's not a dead ball. Since the Saints touched it, it's a live ball, and the Panthers got the ball back post the block field goal. 4 plays later, they fumble the ball on their own 25. So, again, all the momentum there. Just take the game away. You should win this game against the Saints. It wasn't there. Rico Dowdle was held in check. He had just 53 rushing yards, and top 10 running back in the league. Chuba Hubbard had 14 yards. So, yeah.
That's top 10 stuff right there.
All that being said, the Panthers were buns. They're fraudulent buns. But Tyler Shuck was really good, and the Saints were really, really good in this game. Shuck was making big-time plays. I'd urge you to go watch the highlights if you want to have some, Shuck hopium going forward. Saints were 8 for 17 on third down, 2 for 3 on fourth, including a 3rd and 12 touchdown to Juwan Johnson, the 3rd and 6 sealer, essentially, to Chris Olave, where Olave made a one-handed catch, which was incredible. Third and 7 to Olave for a deep touchdown over the top. Taysom Hill had the third down carry to really actually seal the game. And then Shuck on that first drive, scrambling around for a long time, like Mahomes level scramble. It actually looked a lot like the J.J. McCarthy scramble at the end of the game and the Josh Allen scramble in the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
On 3rd and 16. Picks up a first down to Juwan Johnson. Chuck was really, really good. I'm not going to say he's the guy going forward because the Carolina Panthers are fraudulent buns, like I said. So I need to see consistent performances of that from Tyler Shuck. But he looked the part. He played the part. And the Panthers lost to the damn 1-8 Saints and Tyler Shuck in his second start ever. Their postseason hopes are dashed. They're gone. It's over. Your number 1 overall pick is terrible, literally. It sucks to see it because I love Bryce Young.
He was sick at Alabama.
I loved Bryce Young in Alabama. I got to see him play in person twice against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. He was really, really damn good in college. His escapability in college, he would just make plays happen out of nowhere. That's why his undersize part of his game, the fact that he's an inch taller than Josh Hubbard, didn't matter because he would escape. He'd make big plays against SEC defenders. He would somehow find someone open. He was clutch, unbelievably clutch. And now he gets into the NFL and he can't even find consistent. They don't find consistent plays down the field through the air.
Yeah.
And because of that, they have to rely so much on the run, which is why they lead the league in rushing attempts. And in a day when the rushing game doesn't work, where Rico Dell has 53 rushing yards, you're going to score 7 points, and that's it. And so they are just held back severely by the quarterback play, and I don't know where you go going forward. I think you have to get rid of him at some point. He'll be a backup somewhere. He's too good to not. But the guy is just not a starting quarterback.
Sure.
Is it on Carolina a little bit for not putting weapons around him until maybe Ted McMillan? Hell yeah, probably. But at the same time, guys have made it work without weapons. Guys have made plays without weapons.
Should at least look better than this.
Agreed, 100%. And I say the same thing. I've said the same thing with Spencer Rattler. I don't care that you've shown promises, that you've actually kind of put up some decent numbers, you've been in games. Quarterbacks in the NFL, it's about winning games. Bryce Young doesn't win games. I think he has 8 wins total across 3 years. That's not good enough for a number 1 overall pick. I don't care how bad the roster is. Like I said, it was going to be. You have to go out there and win games, and Bryce just doesn't simply do that.
Sure. And the Panthers fans, at least the ones I saw, seem to maybe be coming around to that after the performance Sunday. The funniest thing to me about this game is all the Panthers players after being like, the energy in the locker room was bad pregame, and basically we got too big for our britches and got ahead of ourselves and too pumped up, and pride comes before the fall type beat. Just our heads got too big because you were 5-4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you had beaten the Packers. You got one big win, and then all of a sudden, you don't know how to act. And so then you come and get humbled by the Saints at home. And it's a rookie in the post-game conference having to say this, and Nick Scordon, gig 'em. But it's just like also a clear lack of leadership, not even just a lack of talent. Like, how does that happen? How?
Yeah.
You escape a win in Lambeau. Huge win. Massive win. I'll give you credit. And you immediately go, oh, man, we're like that. We're hot shit. We don't got to worry about the Saints. And you know what it looked like to me on Sunday? 2 bad teams playing football.
Agreed.
Except even worse for the Panthers. You looked worse than the other bad team. The Saints that are trying to tank and lose to get better draft pick. The diabolical place to be, but very, very funny.
Yeah.
Anything else, or do we move on to our last one?
I thought Tyler Shuck's post-game press conference was really mature.
Sure.
which I expect from a
I'll say
26-year-old rookie.
He's old enough.
So it's not.
He's not 26, actually.
He is.
Is he actually?
He's a 26-year-old rookie.
Oh, dang.
Didn't you see my thing where like the pass he threw, his first touchdown pass was to his teammate on the 2019 Oregon team?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did see that.
He's been in the league for not. He hasn't been in the league for a long time. He is 26 and he's a rookie. When normally rookies are in finishing their 4th year at this point.
I'll say he's fixing to try and get his extension.
He was a backup to Justin Herbert
Yeah,
when Herbert was a sophomore.
that's crazy.
So, no, I thought his response in the postgame press conference was really, really mature. He said, I could have been better. We should have been better in key spots. And I don't think he's wrong in that. And that is coming from a guy who in his second start and his first NFL win was 19 for 27, 282, and had 2 touchdowns for a 129 passer rating. That is still him saying he came out there and said, I can be better. So I really loved that response. I just want to see it week over week. I don't want us to win games, but if we're going to win games and shuck plays like this, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
Because we won't have to draft a quarterback in the draft next year, and we can just go and get some elite playmaker defensively or offensively that can help us next year and going forward. But Panthers fans, I told you so. Not surprised to see crickets from a lot of them.
I will say this, and I feel like that's the case for most fan bases when they get told so. Like, there's not a whole lot of fan bases that are going to come back from a told so situation and
Sure.
chirp.
I would hope at least the fan page would, because if you're trying to like,
Well, technically they aren't 0-17, so JP is still wrong. That
This is true.
is
Yeah.
Panthers fans' opinions. is
Panthers on Tap should have at least said that because we called him out on Twitter, and he has not responded. So
I'm not surprised.
I-
I don't often go into my opponents when State loses football. I don't typically go into opposing.
I'm not surprised either.
I don't either.
But if someone added me on Twitter, I would respond.
Yeah.
That was one of the replies I got was, bro hasn't tweeted in months, and now wants to start chirping. And I said, I don't tweet. I don't do this stuff. I told y'all, I feel like a degenerate after doing
Sure.
that for a couple hours. I talk on a podcast 3 times a week for 6 hours.
That's enough.
That's where I get my words out.
Sure.
I don't do it over Twitter because that stuff is it felt so degenerative. I loved every second of it, but it was like, man,
Guilty pleasure.
this
type
is
beat.
what burners
Yeah.
do 24/7. I
Yeah.
cannot imagine this lifestyle at all.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Sure.
But shout out to New Orleans, who dat, and the Saints are 2-8. I hope we don't win any more games, but I hope Tyler Shuck continues to look like that because I honestly would rather not have to draft a quarterback.
It's always easier when you have your guy. I agree.